Because you moved them?
Actually, can you do that like when you play with Callie? Like you have your hands under the blanket and you lift your hands.
Okay.
Now, come here. Remember?
What's up, buddy? Hey, you don't hiss at me. You know better. Stop.
He's hissing at everyone.
You're fine. Chill out. Really? Really? You hungry?
Yeah.
You hungry? Come here. Come here.
Don't run that way.
He's fine.
That's how Mama told him. That's how their Mama told him.
Food and water.
Mama's picking them up. I think that's wrong. Well, that's how their Mama told him.
Okay. Yeah, that is exactly how Mom's holding.
Well, that's not how I treat the Mama kitties. That's how they pick them up.
Well, hi guys. So I see that a few people have joined me.
When they're smaller, they pick them up like that and carry them.
Well, hi Shayna. Good afternoon. Good evening to you. How's your day been?
Don't be aggressive about it.
Well, I'm going to be doing something very similar. No. The potty. And you have to scoop those out, Andrew.
What?
You know better.
Wait, you not scooping?
No, he didn't.
Oh.
So I hope you've been having a good day. I hope everybody's been having a good day. Oh, nice. Yeah, Ashley actually started her job today. It's been her first job that she's had in about a year and a half almost. Well since her surgery, and she's uh, did orientation and stuff today. I watched a bunch of videos. So, well, hi, Miss Katie. Well, you already know what's cooking. Right now, what's brewing is some coffee, and yeah, because I always have my coffee. I always got to have my coffee. Once it gets hotter out, I won't be doing that so much, but
Spring.
today is the first day of spring. Well, hi, Short Fry. Nice to see you in my stream. I hope you all liked the front thumbnail on my video. I'm going to be doing something very similar. Not that exact, but very, very similar. Don't go under there. No. Stay out here. Okay, Shayna.
Persistent little shit.
Yeah. Okay, guys. I want to show you. Today, we got a new kitten. This is Boots. Say hi. Our neighbor's cat ended up having a baby about 6 weeks ago. And he had no clue. He had no clue when I went over there. He's like, I woke up to my cat having a kitten this morning, and I looked at the kitten. I mean, it was crawled underneath his bed all the way back, and I said, that ain't no kitten that was born today. That's like 2 or 3 weeks old. So he's persistent in trying to get in little spots. Yes, I did have a good birthday. Thank you. An excellent birthday. Okay, so.
Who's gonna tag Diamond's tail? No. No, stop it.
It's fine. Just not wanting to use Andrew, it's fine.
He's fine. He just wants to hide.
Especially for me.
No.
Huh? Yeah, not that right.
So, one thing I do, I mean, you all know I wait, but I'm doing some picking right now. When
Warning, olive oil right here.
when I use vegetables, I go through a lot. I get these big bags when I get like frozen vegetables for like stir fries and stuff. And this is called California Blend. It's got broccoli, cauliflower, and carrots in it. And if I end up not needing, or my pan is too full, and I can't end up cooking all of it, even though I might have enough for not even a full serving, I'll keep it in the freezer for a little while, because there's little pieces, there's little bits like this that I can use for other meals. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm looking for all the little broccoli florets. Even cauliflower works
Look, Diamond got
for this
boots
kind of a
out.
thing. Carrots don't work so well though.
Look at them, yeah, Diamond got boots out.
Nope. Yeah, he's a cute little thing.
No, Brooks.
And I've got a full bag in there, which I may open and take out some broccoli, but oh, hi, Crazy 8. Nice to meet you. Thanks for joining my stream. And yes, Jefferson City is about a 2.5 hour drive. It's not actually that far. We are from the St. Louis area. Okay, Katie, take your time. Take your time. Okay. Hello, everybody. Okay. I'm just going to run that under cold water for a little while, let that thaw out. So I need it for my recipe. I just didn't feel like going out and buying a whole head of broccoli or anything for just one recipe. When I try to show everybody, oh, I hate these bags. Sorry, that was so loud, guys. Oh, Katie, you can't even begin to imagine how good those steaks were yesterday. Although, one of them, the one I happened to get, had a, and every so often you get them, but I had a tendon or something running through mine, making a pretty good part of it inedible. I couldn't, actually, so I couldn't, take that piece and cut it with a knife if I didn't, if I tried, which I did try. Well, hi, Trenton.
It's Trent, not Trenton.
Trent. No, his name says Trenton.
But his real name is Trent.
So his real biological
He goes
name is
by
Ethan,
Trent.
but he goes by
His
Trent.
name is Trenton.
Just like your biological name is Michael, but you go by Andrew.
We were actually just talking about you, Trenton. And I was asking how it was that you started, because I know you're Andrew's friend, you're his age and stuff, and just asking how he got you to start watching my live stream.
Actually, he's 1 year older than me. That's we know, son.
So, you felt like a true fatty again. So right now, I have on the boil some water, and I'm going to be boiling some jumbo shells. I'm going to be making some stuffed shells for dinner tonight, and they end up so good it's not even funny. I use a little bit of Alfredo sauce. I use cheese. I use butter. I use shredded chicken, and I use little broccoli florets and stuff like that. And some seasonings and the shells and some marinara sauce and stuff over the top of it. Bake it up. Oh, mwah, so good. You'll see it when it's done. And
We're out.
what?
Dryer sheets.
Oh, okay.
I'm guessing one have to go in.
Dryer sheets aren't actually necessary. They just remove static, and then there's another way to do that. Aluminum foil. Yeah, if you guys don't know, my son was just telling me we're out of dryer sheets. If you guys don't know this, a little life hack or whatever, if you run out of dryer sheets, take a sheet of aluminum foil about that big, crumble it up, toss it in the dryer. It gets rid of all the static cling for you. Actually better than a dryer sheet does. Yeah, we will. I'm just saying it's not. You could take a couple of them, toss them in there, and they roll around in there for like 5 dries, 10 dries, depending on how static free you like them. After so often, after so long, it kind of doesn't work so well. But
Can you play on PlayStation?
if he's got everything done, yes.
He says he has.
Okay.
Oh yeah, can you show Trent boots real quick? I don't think he got to see them.
Well, you can go back in the stream and see him. I might show him again. He's eating out of this other bowl over here. Yeah. We're gonna have to get him his own bowl.
Yeah, some little bowls somewhere.
Yeah, we got lots of little bowls.
Wait, what about the bowl that's in the
Andrew.
cat food thing?
That is the scoop. Anyway, sorry guys. So yeah, I'm just waiting on this water to boil. It takes a minute. My coffee's done, so I'm gonna get a cup of that. My son never puts the trash bag back under the table like it's supposed to be. Whenever you cut pasta, you want to wait to salt your water. You give a nice generous salting of the water, but you wait. You don't put it in while it's still cold, because that will actually scorch the bottom of your pan. That way. Some of you have metal ones, some of you have different plastic ones, but a pasta spoon is essential. You want to stir that up, that way that salt combines in that hot water, just in case it didn't to begin with. Andrew wanted me to show you, Trent. This is Boots. He's saying hi. Yeah, who's that? Okay. So broccoli's thawed out already. It doesn't take long. I have to wait until that boils. In the meantime,
It looked like you got in a fight.
with the scratch, yeah.
Got it on my arm, on my hand too. For the work brush. Like, what the heck?
Yeah.
Good.
So has anybody done anything exciting today?
I went to work.
Okay. So I generally wait 15-20 minutes. I've already started a few little things here and there. Waiting for people to come in. And in that time, Oh, you were in there for 4 hours? Wow. Oh no, that was just Michigander, man. He wasn't on for 4 hours, was he? Yeah, day offs are always nice. Oh, okay. Okay. So, I don't really want to be eating the food while I'm smoking. Um, but I'm not, you know. Oh, okay. Well, cool. You're just live stream hopping, aren't you? That's cool. I want to wait until my water's at a rolling boil, which it is right now. And one at a time, I'm going to drop my shells in. And some of these, if you don't put them in, I mean, if you put them in on their backside, will actually float. I've got a couple floating right now, as a matter of fact. Oh, these are rigid enough. I'll just toss the box in. Sometimes you'll get shells that aren't very rigid, and they'll break if you put them in all at the same time. Now I'm going to cook these. On the box, it says 14 to 15 minutes. I'm going to cook them for 10. I'm going to undercook them because when I bake these, they're going to cook more. So I don't want them to overcook. And just like any pasta, every so often you stir them. You know, try not to break the pasta or anything. With these this big a pasta, you can actually take your spoon in, dig it to the bottom, and just spin it around the outside of the pot, and it stirs them up plenty. Well, that's cool. Stuffed pasta shells are really, really good. And they are so versatile. There is a version of stuffed pasta shells that is what's called mastacali. That's how I pronounce it. It's basically there's several large shells that you can stuff. Jumbo shells, mastacali shells, and a couple others. There's like jumbo huge macaroni that I've seen before. They make pasta in all shapes and sizes, but the same premise is set for each of them, in which involves your stuffing, or your filling, I should say, and the shell. The way you do it depends on the type of shell, but you can put different ingredients in each shell. I mean, it's all pasta. So, I know one of my subscribers that might be in tonight. I don't know if he will be or not. This is kind of for you, Jamie, because I know if you wanted to see stuffed shells, a mastacali type meal, but it's all the same idea. You can use a different type of pasta, and you can have a different filling. This is the way I like to do mine, and it ends up turning out really, really good. So, now I know you guys can see the pot boiling in the background. I really like this view, like I said, because you guys can see a lot. And I've played around with different views, so This so far has been the best one in my view. So, like I was saying, Ashley started her new job today.
How do you watch her?
Uh-oh. Oh, she knows. We have 3 cats and a kitten, so we have 4 cats. And the new one we got today, there was another one of the oldest cat we have. Well, you guys can see Diamond over there. She's in the background, just kind of babysitting. Yeah. She's going through this age where she's having the motherly phase, and she hasn't had any kittens yet, but she's going through this phase. And Meow, our oldest, biggest, grumpiest cat, just went up and sniffed Boots face to face, and Boots swatted at her and hissed, and Meow turned tail and ran. It was funny. It went really good. She did orientation and watched a bunch of videos today. And she goes in tomorrow, 7 o'clock. She's only working 20 hours a week. She doesn't want to do too much because this is her body's already going through a bunch of physical changes after her gastric bypass, and getting up and moving, and it still hurts, and she's using muscles and stuff that she hasn't ever really used. She's just using them more actually, and getting up and moving and being on her feet and stuff is going to wear her out. So working 20 hours a week is enough to kind of get back into things and get used to it and get enough body movement and exercise to really ramp up her weight loss and get her feeling better. She is actually working at Hardee's, doing cook, biscuit type, related work. So. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so my pasta's about done. Like I said, I don't cook it long because you don't want to overcook it and have them, the shells basically flopping all over the place, and being overdone once you cook them with the filling in them. So the way I want to do this and because you don't want to be messing with scorching hot, pasta shells, you have to let them cool. And you do not want to let them cool in a a strainer because they will stick to each other really bad. And the same goes with any shell that you are stuffing. Oh, the strainer. It's always in different places. I've shown him where it goes, but he never.
I think we'd be in trouble with New Hardy, so.
The food.
Freaking hash browns. I love their little circle hash browns. That and their biscuits are ready to be on. I think I might take the time to look smaller and order some hash browns for
That's fine. Actually, I have different places for things in this kitchen. I'm actually working on a video to show how I organize my kitchen, kind of a behind the scenes where I do with everything. I mean, you guys see the pots and pans, you guys see where my stove and fridge is, and you see that shelf. But you don't see inside my cabinets. You don't see my shelf over there, my shelf down over there. I'm actually getting ready to take a dishwasher out because it like half-ass works, and I prefer to hand wash anyway. You always get things cleaner when you're actually doing it by hand. You can see instead of just pulling a dish out of the dishwasher and wasting electricity and everything. I know I'm using more water, but I mean, the rivers around here are flooding, and there's all kinds of water.
And we don't pay water.
And yeah, we don't pay for water. I mean, water usage and conservation and stuff, but in the scheme of things, a gallon used by, 5 gallons used by a million different people in, doing hand washing dishes is, 5 million gallons, and there's plenty of that to go around. I'm not in California, so.
Because in California they have certain times of days your water.
Yeah, during the summer they have to have conservation, and that's a lot of the states and areas in the Southwest. Okay. So these shells hold a lot of water because they're shells. So when you drain them, you want to make sure you drain them all right. You don't want to get caught by boiling, scorching water. And as you guys can see, these aren't done all the way. They're still very, very hot. But I want to get them laid out to cool. Okay. So basically, I'm just going to do this type of thing. And I'm just going to spread them. That way they're not laying on top of each other. You guys can see the steam coming off this pasta. That's how hot it is. So all the little ones that are broken in pieces and stuff, you pull those out at this point.
Really funny.
Somewhere.
It doesn't need to.
Check under that in the cart.
I found one.
when it comes to it, you want to cook the whole box because half of them are going to be torn or broken, or you're going to have to do something with them because.
Nobody home?
But yes, they are very hot, so you got to be careful. You can wear gloves, whatever. You're going to get the a little residue on your hands. It's going to be sticky. It's because of the starches in the pasta. That tells you how starchy pasta is. So these will sit and cool.
He's probably something under that table. I don't know what's under there.
Under what table?
Under the microwave cart.
Oh, could be anything. Okay, so now that those are cooling, what I'm wanting to do, I want to cook my chicken. Now, if you don't have one, a meat tenderizer is an awesome tool to have in the kitchen. Otherwise, you can use a rolling pin or wash off your hammer, use your hammer, or even a glass, the bottom side of a glass. You want to I've had this chicken, I've had this chicken in the fridge for a few days. I've needed to use it, so this is perfect.
Oh, I gotta get Boston Mountain Dew too.
Huh?
I have to get my new Boston Mountain Dew.
Why?
Because I came in with Mountain Dew. It's her favorite drink.
They don't have Mountain Dew there?
I guess not. I think they just have Coke products.
Wait a minute.
Did it go bad?
Yeah, it went. See, that's the thing about chicken, guys. You got to be really careful with how you cook chicken or how you store chicken. I only had it in there like 3 days, and it already kind of went bad on me. Doesn't take but a couple minutes to thaw some chicken out the right way. I'm sorry about this, guys. It's gonna take a little longer than I wanted it to, but I don't have any choice. It was just turning. I mean, it had just turned. You can tell by the texture, and if you get it close to your nose, the smell. But it's okay. In the meantime, I'm going to take my broccoli. And I'm going to cut up all these little pieces. I'm going to cut the stems off, if there's any stems on it. Do what? Yes, it is. Oh.
You not have your tablet on there?
Oh, yeah, I see it now. I wasn't watching it. Oh, okay. Nice to see you in the busy little house. What are you cooking? Oh, wow. Sorry, you guys weren't seeing this. I didn't. Now I'm just going to take my knife and just kind of cross-cut the broccoli a little bit. Not really chop it up real small, but small enough to say it's in pieces, little florets. Take if any stems come off, take the stems off. You want them about this size. Oh, that one just slipped out of my hand. And yes, busy little house. I do during my live streams. If anybody has any questions or anything like that about what I'm cooking or how to cook something, I love doing demonstrations. And if somebody wants, an idea, about better knife skills or how to baking skills or something like that, then I'll go ahead and help them every way I can. Okay. That's my forte. I love to help. And it's just practice with knives. Oh, that does sound really good. Okay. Yeah. I was going to actually ask you to do that.
I'm already on it. I told Amanda we were live, but I guess she's still busy.
Yeah.
Probably not.
Do what?
Cook dinner myself or handle the table.
Yeah. And sometimes, like what's happening now with the chicken, I'm having to thaw out some chicken real quick. Things happen, and this is what I like about live streams. You never know what's going to happen. If I were to cook the chicken yesterday, it would have been perfectly fine, but it's just a day off. So I'm having to thaw some new. The busy little house. If are you on a computer, tablet, or sorry, a phone or tablet, or are you on a computer? There's different ways to do it for either. If you're on a phone or tablet, you can't. You have to actually type the @ name or the @ sign and then their name. If you're on a computer, all you do is click their name. It'll say it'll give you the option to. Or actually, you just start with the @ sign. You start typing the @ sign and their name, and it'll pop up their name and click on it, and that's how you respond to them. And sometimes YouTube isn't so finicky, and they just do it if you start typing their name. Come on, just a little bit longer.
What's up, Cubs? Yeah.
Oh no, you're fine. You're fine. This isn't all just about me cooking. It's also chatting and getting to know you guys, and you guys chatting with each other, getting to know each other, things like that. So I mean, it's a big. I like to have a community in my chat. So yes. So I will do this a different way. I'm going to actually show you guys that chicken can be cooked from frozen. That's what I'll do. So I got my frozen chicken, right? Been trying to thaw for like 5 minutes, but that's not near long enough. It needs like 15 or 20. So what I'm doing is I'm getting my pan hot. You cook it pretty much the same way you cook it thawed. If you're doing it for something like this, you're gonna take it, you're gonna shred it, or you're gonna whatever. The way I'm doing it, I can cook it from frozen. I was just trying not to if I didn't have to. You're late, right? You're what? 26 weeks late? For those of you that haven't been in my live stream before, Amanda Thorne, that is in chat now, she is basically a sister to us, and she's having a baby that we're adopting, so she's our baby mama.
She's my baby mama, not yours.
So I'm going to put a little olive oil in my pan, about a tablespoon. I'm going to take my Chunko chicken, right? Chunko chicken. We'll just add it to the pan.
I'm sure she has you on the TV, so you might want to say hi to Hazel.
If you're watching, hi Hazel. Hazel's one of Amanda's daughters.
Her baby.
She's 2. And she loves watching Uncle Nate cook. So she may be watching right now. Very family friendly show. I'm adding pepper. I'm gonna add a little bit of onion powder. I'm not able to season each chicken thigh individually, but it'll have the same effect this way. And then what I'm going to do is, if I can find it, should be right here. Where's my lid?
Up top.
Oh. I'm not used to reaching that high. I've got 2 lids the same size, and now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to trap heat in there. That way it helps to thaw that chicken as it cooks. I don't want it too hot, so I'm not having it like medium high or anything. It's just basically medium. And it's going to sit, and that's going to thaw. It's going to cook, and it's going to get all those good flavors from the olive oil and the seasonings and stuff in it. So.
Hazel said hi. I'm watching my tablet. Mommy changed my butt. Too damn cute.
Yeah, we like to have fun in this live stream. We do. Very rarely does somebody get offended or blocked in my live stream, unless it's a troll or somebody coming in purposely and being an ass, or I make a mistake and time somebody out and they can't get over it. Um, mistakes happen. I saw somebody made a comment. I thought it was about something else, and because I was busy cooking, I saw the comment and I went, "Sorry, I just got done telling somebody else," and it was a mistake. I apologized, said it was my fault, but I mean, mistakes happen. And if that person, ever wants to come to my live stream again, they're welcome. But be respectful and don't be offended. Amanda. You are really lucky I just said this is a family-friendly show. You know that, right? Family-friendly.
She is being family-friendly. She didn't say nothing wrong.
Really? I love you, Amanda. Nowhere close to what you told us the other day on live stream. Why would you announce that on live stream?
Because she wanted to surprise you and catch you off guard.
She caught us both off guard. Unless you knew already too. I was gonna say.
I had a thought that it was, but I did not know that it was actually a girl. I thought it was a girl.
Our pans are actually about 2 years old, and this one here is wearing down. My tongue's outside.
The game is called I Win.
Give me just a second, guys. What'd she say?
Amanda said the game is called I Win.
The game is called You're Pregnant, so of course you win. You're a woman. I can't find my tongs, guys. I need a new drawer. Wait, hold on. Maybe. Oh, I found them. They should have been put up long ago, but they weren't. Okay. So my chunko chicken There we go. Breaking up. For those of you that have watched several of my live streams before, you know I've said what will happen, what can happen will go wrong. I can't even talk to what can go wrong will go wrong in my live stream, and this is a good example with this chicken. Hey Mo Man, how's it going? Yeah, no, this is not scripted. This is real life. This is how I cook. This is how a real person does things. And that's what I like about live streams instead of regular videos. Because regular videos, you set this up, you set that up, this is how you do this is how you do that. Or this is blah, 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 and it's done. I don't like that. I mean, I have done videos like that, and I will do videos like that, but I much prefer live streams because, I mean, you get craziness. You get people like Amanda in my live stream, and just every hilarity ensues. So, yeah, this is what I really enjoy doing. And to answer your question, we are in Missouri, just outside of St. Louis, on the eastern side, right along the Mississippi. So, yeah, we live in a mobile home that we own, and trying to do a lot of fixing up to the place. We moved in, and it wasn't in the best shape. The floors were caving in. I've replaced the hallway floor and living room floor, and for some reason, I've got to figure out somehow, somewhere, some why. There is water getting trapped somehow, somewhere in underneath, and it's sweating the floorboards and causing them to weaken, and I've got to figure that out, and then I've got to replace everything again. We have a baby on the way from Amanda, and I've got a nursery room that I've got to replace the floor in, and our bedroom I've got to replace the floor in, and the kitchen I got to replace the floor in. I got to replace the countertops, and it's just a very long process that takes a lot of money that we don't have right now. They were just not where they should have been. I wasn't thinking. I thought I may have used them out with the girl, and if I didn't, still frozen but cooking. It'll all end up cooking evenly. It just you got to break it up as it cooks. There we go. Take pieces apart. I know that's you, Amanda. What do you want?
Hello.
That's all what it sounds like.
Okay.
Someone was like, oh, that's so...
Cooking some more.
I don't love her. She's a mess.
Oh yeah, I mean we've got lots of space, and it's not like it's. I mean there is one spot in a corner in the room, in one of the rooms that is literally like caving in, but I've kind of temporarily repaired it until I can replace the whole floor. The rest of the house, I mean, there's weak spots, I should say. It's not like caving in. The ceilings aren't caving in. You can see I do have a nice kitchen, have a nice living room, all of that. But it's not like it's small. It's not like it's. I mean, there's plenty of room for us and our 4 cats and our rabbit. But it does get to be an animal house at times. And I just, we love it. So,
Hazel, I want you to say hi to her again.
come on, everybody. We got to say hi to Hazel. Hazel is my niece, and we all have to say hi. Hi, Hazel. Come on, everybody. Say hi, Hazel. I think it's more Amanda wanting me to say hi to Hazel
No,
than
Hazel
anything.
just said I want to say hi on Nate.
Oh. There we go. There's another piece. There we go. Okay, so these are thawing nicely. I'm getting ready. I'm able to spread them out now. They're all separated from each other. Now I can actually put seasoning in there that they'll all enjoy. They'll all be able to marinate in. I can leave the lid off. I use my main seasonings that I use are garlic powder, onion powder, seasoned salt, black pepper, and salt. And it depends on what I'm cooking with, how much of each I put in. I am a true from scratch cook. I don't like using unless I'm baking something. If I'm baking something, I'll use a specific recipe, or it's something I've never cooked before. I'll use a specific recipe and still kind of work with it. But other than that, I am a true from scratch cook. I don't like cooking. I can't stand cooking out of boxes. A box will sit in my cupboard and expire before I will cook from a box. Unless it's the last thing we have in the house to be able to eat. And that's happened a few times. But, unless I absolutely have to, I will not cook out of a box. Oh, okay, Katie. Well, thanks for taking me along. So this is what these shells look like. If you guys have seen jumbo shells before, you know. Virgo loves box meals. Yeah, well, you come here, you're not gonna eat out of a box meal. You eat some real good food. This is the jumbo shells. This is the area that I'll be filling. You can see they're not like real floppy like cooked full pasta is. You want these about halfway, a little undercooked. It said 14 to 16 minutes. I cooked them 10 because you're going to be cooking them in the oven as well. And now they're plenty cool enough to handle, to be able to fill, to be able to do what I need to. So. And for those of you that didn't see my live stream yesterday, Those of you that did, awesome. But you saw in my live stream yesterday that after we got back from grocery shopping, how I organize my meats. I put them in Ziploc baggies, and I put them according to how many I'm going to need for a meal. There's 3 of us here. And Ashley eats the amount less than a 5-year-old.
Less than a 2-year-old.
To give you an idea, well, for those of you that don't know I have a few people in here that are new and that don't know. Ashley, my wife, if you go back and look in different streams and stuff, she had gastric bypass surgery back in August. And her stomach went from the size of a football to the size of an egg. So, for a good example of how much she can eat, we went to McDonald's one day. Everybody knows how big a chicken nugget is, and everybody knows how big McDonald's French fries are. She was able to eat 6 chicken nuggets and 4 French fries for lunch one day. And that's about how some days she can eat more if it goes down good. But a lot of days she can't, and that's about the amount that she can eat pretty much every day.
Show them what I ate today. Show my little bag of Pop-Tarts.
Do what?
Show my little bag of Pop-Tarts.
Oh, no.
That's all I had for breakfast.
No, we have 3 here. I mean, are you coming for dinner tonight and staying? Because if not, last time I counted, there was only 3, sweetie. No, it's not often. It's just she has to pack as few carbohydrates and as many grams of protein as she can in 3 meals a day. She can have a small snack here and there, but she can't graze. Grazing is sitting and like eating popcorn over an hour, or sitting and eating carrots and ranch dressing or something over a full work shift or something. That's called grazing. That's not good. She's restricted on the amount of vegetables she can eat because vegetables are really high in starches and sugars, to be honest. So pick your arse up. I need to get oil changed in the van before I can make it up there, Amanda. I told you that. Uber. Lyft. You know the ride share places.
Keep babies calling you.
Where's the baby?
He's under the tote thing.
Don't be harsh or anything. That's
He
no
changed
longer
it.
fatty.
With child.
With a child. But anyway, back to what I was saying. I prepackage my meats when we get home from the store. I like to go and buy large amounts of meats, like beef, pork, chicken, things like that, and that way it's cheaper, and I'm able to portion it out the right way. I know our son eats like literally a hog at slop time. and I eat kind of an average amount, and Ashley eats like a little child. So together we all eat roughly the amount 3 people would eat normal portion sizes. So 2 chicken thighs per person. So I package 6 chicken thighs per baggie, and that's what gets frozen. Unless we're having Amanda over, and then I have to use a 5-pound roll of ground beef just in one meal. So, got your bag.
Sad thing is, she hardly eats that much. So far here lately, she ate 2 Hungry Man meals today.
If you can eat a whole package of Oreo cookies in one day, Amanda, like you did yesterday, you can eat that 10-pound burrito. I don't want to hear it.
Andrew, bring him here. Bring him here.
So what I'm doing is I'm letting this chicken
Take him
cook.
and bring him here.
I want
Take
it.
him out to me, son.
I'm going to turn my heat up now that everything's thawed out and it's cooking nicely.
Andrew, you're coming over here.
I'm going to turn my heat up. That way things can brown. The moisture from the chicken thighs freezing, I want that to cook off. And I want the thighs to brown up a bit.
Hey, where's that gray part? Oh, the color carpet.
It's under the phone. The fucking
Here
phone.
to look, please. Thank you.
Hey, can I get a couple more?
A small one. Yeah, he's new. We just got him today.
I need a couple more.
So, he's being very vocal. We have other cats in the house he's not used to. It's very new environment. So anywhere he goes and doesn't know where he's been, then he gets scared and he's going to be vocal.
Andrew, say hi, Andrew.
So,
He's watching on our TV.
Who?
Tell you. Hazel.
Say hi,
oh,
Angel.
Hazel.
Hey, Angel.
Sheep in the background. Oh, that isn't a. That is literally a curtain. I just don't have the curtain rod in it, and that's because I makeshift put up the curtain because I was doing a live stream just like 2 days ago. It was really really bright out, and it was messing with the light. And I just haven't put a curtain rod in it. But that is really a curtain. It's just kind of hanging. It's hanging from the brackets. I just need to put a curtain rod in it. So that's why it's like that. Sweetheart,
Yes, it's good.
what are you doing? You're really loud.
And this speaker is very sensitive.
So I always buy, instead of buying chicken breast, Ashley thinks chicken breast is too dry. And chicken thighs are cheaper anyway. They're very, very moist. And they're very versatile. So I just use them. Everything's browning up nicely. We don't actually own property. We live in a trailer park, but we do have a pretty large lot, and if I absolutely wanted to, I could. I could put a little head out there, and we do have big enough of a yard that would accommodate a little chicken hut and a little gated chicken coop area, but that would take getting permission from the owner of the park and everything. And I don't know if chickens are actually allowed because we live just inside the city limits. I don't know if chickens or something like that would be allowed in city limits. Okay. So sorry this is taking so long, folks. I had an unexpected issue. It's been resolved. Got maybe 2 minutes left to cook. Oh, okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that off. Whenever you use a knife, you always want to make sure you hone the blade first, and between every use, always make sure that blade is sharp. Using a dull blade is worse than using an extremely sharp one because it will cut the bejesus out of you if it is dull. Now you guys can see this cooked up nicely, nice and browned. What's that? Oh. I'm going to sit and let this cool for just a minute. I didn't do anything but use some seasoning on this, some olive oil in the pan, and that's it. So, and for those of you that are new, coffee's my thing. Every live stream I have a pot of coffee, or at least a few cups. We'll let this cool for just a minute because it is super, super hot. In the meantime, oh, good catch.
Try using that as basketball. It kind of looks like you dribbled it.
Oh no, not a huge time change. We're in Central Time. I drink coffee. That's my thing. Keeps me awake. Keeps me alert. But I can drink a pot of coffee before I go to bed and sleep just fine. Coffee just helps me. If I'm going, it keeps me going. If I don't have coffee, I will wear out a lot quicker, and I don't like that. So it's cold enough. And you can take this chicken actually. I will use my gloves. Yeah, right. That was funny. I wasn't even expected to do that. Okay. Another way I don't get chicken. I know it's cooked, but chicken all over my hands and stuff. And all I'm going to do is I'm just going to shred this up. And you can boil this chicken. You can cook this chicken however you want. Use a rotisserie chicken, but I like to cook it like this with the chicken we have. If you have one of those rotisserie chickens from Walmart or something, or we have Schnucks around here from a store, cut that up, shred that up. See, I didn't cut myself, but I want to show you how sharp my knife is. And this is why I'm always very careful when I use a knife. Because I was shredding that chicken, the very tip of my finger, the glove was just in the way. I had my finger out of the way, but the glove was long enough that just with one little tiny swipe, hi guys, that's how sharp I keep my knives.
You're giving me a heart attack. Let's not cut your finger again.
I won't.
Yeah. 2 years ago. On my birthday, nonetheless. I'll show you guys when I take the gloves off. We were cooking something, I don't remember what it was. I was slicing tomatoes or something. Or potatoes, for fried potatoes, I think it was. Mandolin. This is a mandolin. It's a slicer. My finger got in the way. Or actually, it jumped out at me. And sliced my thumb. And it's going to be like that. But I want to show you how sharp you need to keep your knives. And that's how sharp I keep mine. Just from using the steel.
Amanda said, I'm going to the hospital with you. I said, I'm going to let him bleed.
But that's why I'm always careful. And it was just, okay, this is how it was, okay?
Let's do it again.
No, I'm not. See, the tip of my glove was right there along the chicken. And I was using it as a guide. My finger was all the way down, like this. Straight up and down, but the glove was tilted off a little bit, and that's what it sliced off.
Oh, she said I'm not going.
Yeah, she said I'm not.
I read it wrong.
But I wanted to show you guys that. I mean, it was just the glove that it caught. Because since I sliced my finger with that mandolin that day, I'm very, very careful with knives and blades. And the glove was tilted actually just like that. That's how it cut off. So, imagine if that was your finger. You want to be very, very, very careful.
But I'll just laugh from afar.
Shut up, Amanda.
Andrew.
Can you open the gate, Callie?
Open it. Come on, Callie, go. Come on, Callie. Come on, Callie, go.
Okay, so now that it's shredded, nicely shredded, sliced, whatever you want to call it,
Oh, Andrew.
chunked. No, it's okay. It's okay.
You're stepping on me now.
I'm going to cut this down a little bit more because it's a little bigger in the chunks that I want.
Come on. Come on.
So now I have a big pile of
Just leave it like that.
diced up chicken. How's this the chicken smell, sweetheart?
Good.
Really now?
Yes, really. I have to taste it. It tastes like rotisserie chicken. I mean, it tastes really good. Sweetheart, you want to taste it? See what you think of the chicken?
I taste it.
Sweet too, but it ain't that much.
Andrew. No. I know what you mean. You said he was making messes.
Hey, is this allowed one and a half?
Is that good? You like that?
Love it.
So, I got a bowl of chicken here, right? I'm going to take. No, some people use different things. You can put anything you want, really, into this kind of a filling. If you have leftover Alfredo sauce, if you have if you know how to make Alfredo sauce, awesome, perfect, that works great. If you don't and you want Alfredo sauce, I always keep, if I can, at least one jar of something like a sauce in my cabinet. I luckily have some Alfredo sauce in the cabinet that I'm going to use. But I am as well have to use some other things to use as binders and other flavorful yummies stuff in there, cheeses and whatnot, instead of just the Alfredo sauce, because just Alfredo sauce in itself from a can is blah. And you want to mix other stuff up in there. Well, that's not going to cook right unless you have the proper binders in there, and it just won't do what you want. So here is my can of Alfredo, or my jar of Alfredo sauce, just generic Alfredo sauce. I'm going to use about half the jar in there. Okay. I'm going to crack a couple eggs in there. I'm going to put This is just the leftover packaged cheese we have in there. Some Monterey Colby Jack cheese. I also have some, fresh is always better, but I have some grated Parmesan cheese. I'm going to toss in there. I've got some garlic powder that I'm going to use. And I have Italian seasoning. Now, Italian seasoning is a broad mixture of herbs such as basil, dill, oregano, thyme, rosemary, sage. This one has marjoram, oregano, thyme, rosemary, savory, basil, and sage. So you get lots of good flavors in there. And I'm just going to mix that up real good. Actually going to get some more cheese. How old's the baby? Or the toddler? Your kid. Oh, come on. Adult proof bag. Those come off. That's it. That's good. Yep, that works. That worked! Okay. Now we're in business. Now you can make this with ricotta cheese. You can make this with Alfredo sauce. You can make this with all kinds of stuff. And what I'm going to do is I have some cream cheese. And that's going to thicken up my mixture. And it's going to add some really good extra creamy flavor to it. I'm going to use about a half a block for now. And I'm going to have a lot of leftover, and that's fine. I'm going to put my other half in there. Okay, Katie.
You scared Amanda off.
Oh, I scared her off.
I told her to stop.
Oh, really? That scared her off?
I know she hasn't been talking.
You can talk now, Amanda. Speak.
Forever not hold your peace.
Right? Tell me what you really think.
You don't want that.
Probably not. Now I'm just adding some fresh cracked pepper. Okay. Now there's all these little chunks of cream cheese in there, which is going to make it really good when it melts down. But that's what the mixture looks like so far. That's really good. I'm going to get some of those cream cheese chunks broken up a little more. Make sure there's no really big ones. And now, the fun part. Oh, you guys forgot to remind me. I got the broccoli. How could you guys forget to remind me? Come on. You can't forget stuff like that, guys.
Oh, shush, you two. I'm gonna lock you all in a room and see how well y'all get along. Gonna take Steve out of his cage and put you three in it.
Okay. So, that's how it looks now.
Hey.
So, my cold shells. My cold coffee now. What I'm going to do I got a glove on because this gets kind of messy. So, what I'm going to do is put my thumb in the shell. Take a spoonful. And toss it in the center.
No.
I want to fill it pretty good. Then I'm going to take my other finger and I'm going to press down that pasta to that filling. That way it's nice and snug in there. Oh. And that's what a filled pasta shell looks like before it's cooked. Well, thanks for joining my live stream, Thrawn. How are you? I appreciate the compliment. Oh, it is good. I think that's how you pronounce your name, Thrawn. Oh, you forgot about me, huh? Okay. I see how you are.
Pregnancy brain.
Oh, that's right, pregnancy brain. Oh, well, nice to meet you, Kate Subby.
Me be nice now. Happy life. Right? Happy girl.
Okay, come on. There it goes. Like I said, this does take some time, so if you want to prepare this ahead of time one night or one day, if you have a day off, or this really looks good, it's just taking the time to really stuff the shells after you've made your filling. And you can make your filling with anything, like if you know how to make lasagna and you make lasagna filling, you can make that same filling with the hamburger and the sauce, and you take your cheese instead of layering it in. You take that and mix that up in with the meat, like the ricotta and cottage cheese if you use cottage, um, and your pasta sauce and stuff, and just mix it all together with the eggs and everything, and it will make a nice filling. You don't want it too thin because it'll just fall out of the shell. You want a nice thick. And I know it sounds funny, but what I'm going to do is, even though I use Alfredo in this, I'm going to use spaghetti sauce to cover it. And what that's going to do is that's going to lend the extra moisture to the shell to finish cooking it. Oh, well, I don't always just do pasta. This is actually don't do it very often because my wife can't really eat pasta very much. She had gastric bypass surgery back in August, and it fills her pouch too much because she doesn't have what's called a stomach anymore. She has a pouch, and it's the size of about an egg, and pasta fills it up way too much. She can't get the proper amount of protein and stuff that she needs. So pasta's a not very often thing, but when it is, I like to fill it pretty good, and that way she's getting more filling and actual protein and stuff than pasta. So you can just take a lot of stuff that you might have in your fridge. Make whatever you were going to have. You don't have to go by what I'm cooking.
But she wants what we're cooking. No, you can't ban nobody, little boy.
Come on. There it goes. I don't really make desserts. Again, with my wife having gastric bypass, she can't have. I mean, she can have very, very little real sugar, and dessert could be ice cream sandwich or something like that. Something simple. I spend too much time a lot of times, especially on something like this, making dinner. Then
Very seldom do we have a dessert.
yeah, that's what Katie was telling me, and um, she was watching my live stream yesterday as I was packaging up after we had gone shopping, and I don't know if she heard me or not, but I told you guys to email me because she said some of you guys are kind of picky. That's what she said. So don't take it out on me. But there's a lot of things that she can do or you guys can do to prepare ahead of time. Like these can be prepared. The whole family can get involved in something like this if you like. Um, if you both have a day off together or something, or a day at home, and you want to try something like this, get the family involved. That way, uh, have the kids do the stuffing of them. It's a lot of fun. I mean, I'm kind of sitting here doing it myself, so. Uh, but you can prepare this. You can make a whole bunch, have it one night, and then freeze it, have it a week later. Or throw it out if you don't like it. I mean, okay, you're having baked potatoes and thawed out hamburger meat. What can I make with that? Okay, Amanda, what else do you have in the house? Tell me some other general things you have in the house.
She has cheese. She can make like a potato and meat hamburger casserole or something like that.
Because what you could do, no, perfect idea. You take the baked potato, green beans, corn, cheese, cream cheese, or cheese and cream. Oh, whipping cream. Okay. Well, that's not going to go very well with baked potatoes and hamburger meat. Um, you can. Hmm,
Bake
that
up
is
the
that's a good
potatoes.
one.
Slice up the potatoes and fry them.
Yeah.
Ground the hamburger and put potatoes, hamburger, and green beans all in a dish and make it and put cheese on it.
Yeah, kind of make like a shepherd's pie almost. But like take the cook up the hamburger meat. Do you have any or you don't want a casserole? Okay. You can take and fry up the potatoes in slices, like the way Ashley does, and put your hamburger meat in with it. I mean, I don't know how good that would be.
It'd be
Uh,
like a potato hamburger bowl. And put cheese on it so it,
you want baked taters.
okay. She can have hamburgers and baked potatoes. Or make cheeseburgers with baked potatoes. And green beans for the side.
Yeah. She's about to do just that, she said.
I have a passed out kitten.
Yeah. Okay, so this is a lot of pasta so far that I've filled. I'm going to take a can of some generic spaghetti sauce. My oven is heated to 350. I have just a glass baking dish. I'm going to do a small layer of sauce on the bottom. Move it around in there. Okay. She's trying to do the dishes. Hey, at least she's trying to help out. I mean, come on, give her credit for that.
She said no, she's not.
Oh, you guys can't see that, can you? Sorry about that. Kind of having to stuff the last one in there. There we go. And then I'm going to do a layer on top. And then layer cheese on top. In the oven at 350 for about 20 minutes. Get it nice and bubbly, and then good to go.
New boots.
Now I have some more shells and some more filling, but my pan is full. My other pan is in the fridge, storing meatballs from the other day that are being eaten daily. I just had some for lunch, as a matter of fact. I'm gonna put those there for right now. They can re-dry out. You can put them in some hot water, rehydrate them. Pasta can. I mean, there's a limit to how many times you can dry it out and rehydrate it and dry it out. But as long as it's like fully dried out, it'll be fine for a couple times. A lot of people don't realize that. You can cook spaghetti and let it sit and dry out and actually reheat it in some hot water, and it'll still be good. It'll still be edible. So put my knife away. I like to clean up as I go. So, where'd my washcloth go? So, hope everybody's enjoying the live stream so far. I know I'm 2 hours in now. It's a lot longer than I thought it would be, but you know, stuff happens. Like that mistake of the chicken, having to thaw it out, and I would have been done a half an hour ago if that weren't the case. I'm sorry, guys. But like I always say, you never know what's going to happen in the live stream. So, I will sit down and have a cup of coffee with you guys. Well, not with you guys, but you got coffee in hand. Yeah. Oh, she had an episode. Okay. So who all do I still have with me, guys? Oh, that's not good. Okay, Thron, it was nice to meet you. Thanks for coming into my live stream. And hopefully you subscribe, hit that like button, and if you want to watch, if you want to keep watching my live streams, then hit that notification bell. That way you can be alerted next time. I'm kind of random with when I do my live streams, but generally it's every couple nights or every other night between 5 and time, and it's could be every night for a few days, could be every other night or every 3 nights. It just all depends on what I'm cooking when. Oh wow. Are you seeing Chat Spirit? Hazel had another episode.
Yeah, I saw that.
They need to figure out what's going on with her. Thank you, Katie. I really appreciate that. I hope they taste just as good as they look. um, I use in this coffee cup a tablespoon and a half of sugar, and it just gets rid of the bitter taste to it. So, yes, Katie. She's started having some seizures and stuff like that, and they don't know why. Not like grand mal, just petite mal, but spacey and stuff like that. And she's 2 years old. And did you end up ever getting the insurance company called, Amanda, to figure that out? Or you know what's going to happen with that?
I'm gonna have to go to bed after dinner.
I love you.
You get to come home and take a nap. I don't. I don't want naps for you.
Yeah, true. And the fact that they transferred her
And the doctor sent her.
and the doctor sent her to St. Louis, that they're messed up. Yeah, Katie, that's kind of what she's been doing. She gets real spacey. She'll stare off at the wall, or
Her eyes will start to shake.
her eyes will start to shake back and forth, and she'll just kind of, do this kind of thing. And the doctor didn't know. She lives up in a smaller city, and their hospitals aren't equipped for that kind of an issue with a child that age. So they literally sent her. What is it? 75 miles or so down here to St. Louis, because she lives up north a little bit, an hour drive, all the way down here to a children's specialty hospital because they couldn't help her. 120 miles. Okay. It's just ridiculous how an insurance company can deny something like that because
The doctors felt she needed
the
overnight.
doctors felt that she needed extenuating help. I mean, they would not have sent her unless there was an issue. You know? Sorry. That name was kind of funny. Yeah. That's sorry to hear that your son has that issue. And Amanda's going through the same thing with her daughter. And they did an EEG on her and that came out fine. Yeah, I can imagine Peoria from, you said you're in the Quad Cities area. That would be about an hour drive, yeah. Hour and a half. Okay. Glad you didn't take my chuckling at that in the wrong way. Is he on medication? How old is he now?
Andrew. You call your pop on something, he owes you $30.
Oh, did he get his report card? What?
Yeah. He has 3 A's and the rest are all B's.
Awesome. You did say $10 per A.
You make up on some of the others $30.
So, we just got our son's report card. His grandfather made him a deal that for every A he gets $10 from him. And he got 3 A's. So he's calling him now. Yeah, parent-teacher conferences are tomorrow. Kids are out of school. They haven't even had spring break yet. They don't go to spring break until next month. Oh, that's looking good. I'm gonna turn it up to 400. Cheese could be melting a little better.
My report card came in, and remember what you said? $10 per A. Yeah.
Back to only eating hot
Yeah,
dogs.
you did. Yeah, you did.
He's trying to deny it.
3.
The others are B's. You got A's and B's.
A's and B's.
Take a picture of it and send him a screenshot.
Well, I'm gonna let my mom do that because my phone's locked. Okay.
Well, howdy, Tammy. I know Bobby will be along shortly if you're in, unless he's busy.
Okay. Okay. 3, 2, 5.
What do you say?
He tried to deny it. And what else did he want? You wanted me to send a picture of it?
Yeah, he wants proof.
Our son got 3 A's, and his papa said that for every A he gets $3, or sorry, $10. Well, Andrew just called him and said, "You owe me $30," and he said, "I need to see proof of that report card." He tried to deny it. He said, "No, I didn't." Oh, that's funny. Oh, he's sleeping. Okay. So everybody, for those of you that don't know who Tammy Sprinkle is, for Tammy and Bobby that come into my live stream sometimes, they're friends of mine. I've been subscribed to them, and they've been subscribed to me for quite a while, and they're great people. So if you want to check out their channel, they got some great content. Tammy's a sweetheart, and Bobby's just a great guy, and they have some pretty good channels. Bobby does some live streams, hang out, chit in the mornings and evenings sometimes. So if you want to check out their channels, I'm sure they'd appreciate it. I'm just waiting on this dinner to get done cooking real quick. Yeah. Just about done. He's a mess. And I didn't realize he was 11. Our son is 11 as well. So yes, that is true, Katie. The Mafia? Who looks like the Mafia? Do it. Oh, I hope she gets feeling better, Amanda. Oh, okay. Yeah, she probably does. Her whole body probably just because when a seizure happens, all the muscles tense up too, and she's got to be not feeling great. It's probably more her head than anything that hurts.
Body may hurt too.
That smelling okay to you?
No. Oh, wow. I can feel my vessels now. Sorry.
Oh wow, awesome.
Yeah, that's what was like, what the heck's that? And I was like,
Yeah, you got to be able to do what you got to do, but you know, if she needs to sleep, she needs to sleep. All right, I see it bubbling. Wow, that's a lot. Has the Lamictal helped? Hey guys, I'm actually going to show you this creation here. Directly out of the oven. How's that look? that look like something you get at a restaurant or see on a cooking show or something. Well, this is technically a cooking show, so. I'm gonna let that rest for a minute, kind of cool down a little bit. So using a cheaper marinara sauce on something like this, or pasta sauce, isn't going to be a big deal because generally they're runnier, they're like thinner, so it's going to thicken up as it is anyway, because the moisture is going to help cook the pasta, and it's going to be absorbed anyway, so it's going to thicken up. No, that was his mama calling on his phone. Going to talk to him about his grades and getting his little pay. So, let's see here. I'm just going to take this one out right here.
And Papa tried to admit that he did, and Papa tried to say that.
Look at that, guys. Look how yummy that stuffed shell looks. Guys can't really see it that well, but it's hot, so I'm just using a knife. I want to get it kind of.
Okay, sorry, I spaced out. I got distracted. Right.
See the broccoli florets in there, the cheese.
What Mama say?
I have to let this cool for a little bit.
See me soon to get one more.
Sam gets to cook tonight.
No, it says get super. Oh yes. Okay. I see.
So I cut it open because it can cool a little bit. You have to think this is nice and creamy on the inside because the cream cheese and the Alfredo sauce and stuff that I put in there, and that cheese is melted in there. So I'm going to get a little extra sauce. That does look really good. But I'm going to save that for just a second. Guys, you know I always leave you with the last bite, or the first bite. So that's what I'm going to do. I've live streamed for 2.5 hours now. Got everything cooked up, had a couple flops on like the chicken and stuff. So I hope you enjoyed my live stream. I hope you enjoyed seeing how to make some stuffed pasta. This was stuffed jumbo shells with chicken and other bits of really yummy goodness. If you're not subscribed to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. That really shows me you like my video. And hit that notification bell, because I'm not like precise on when I live stream. It's generally 5 o'clock and it's not every night. So if you want to email me about something, you have a question about a certain dish or food or anything in general, I can help. My email's in the description. If you have a couple pennies that you can spare, nickels, dimes, quarters, whatever, change left on your card, my PayPal is in the description as well. It also helps with food cost and helping to repair the house because I got floors and other stuff that need replaced before this baby comes. And I think that's about it, guys. I love every one of you. Thanks for joining my live stream. It took about 2 hours to make, but well worth it.